Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the It's in Queens podcast, covering events in the world's most diverse borough between September 6th and September 12th in the year 2018. As always, I'm over here showing my right profile. I'm Rob Mackay from the Queens Tourism Council. Over there, showing off his left profile, is Chris Donovan from the Daily News, which is the co-sponsor of this podcast.
Hey, buddy.
Chris, how are you?
Oh, good to be back.
Good to be back. Chris just came back from a vacation.
That's right.
How did it feel to come back to Queens after being away for a couple of days?
It made me realize how much I miss it.
There you go.
Yeah, I had to go away for a little bit to get that feeling back in my heart.
Good.
I'm never leaving
you grew
again.
back. You lost the love and feeling, and you found it back again.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back in love with the borough.
All right. Anyway, I don't know why we're taking so long. I feel like I should break out into song.
If you would, that would
I'm thinking Figaro, Figaro, Figaro. What are you thinking?
It would be appropriate for the occasion.
Figaro. How about Kill the Wabbit?
Oh.
Kill the Wabbit.
That's my first introduction to that, yeah.
All right. So without any further ado.
Or don't.
Right. Between the two of us are the founders of Queens Opera Theater, Ally and Brian Gill. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
All right, it's great to have you. So a lot of people don't even know that Queens is an opera town, but in fact we are.
That's right.
Thanks to these two right now. Tell us a little bit about Queen Opera. We're so happy that you're here with us.
Well, thank you very much, Rob and Chris, for the invitation. We're very happy to be here. So Queens Opera Theater was founded and started exactly 2 years ago. We are the only professional opera company based in the entire borough of Queens.
So here's my question is, about how many performances do you do a year?
Well, we've just completed our inaugural season.
Right.
And that included an inaugural season preview last April.
In Flushing Town Hall.
At Flushing Town Hall. Followed by a holiday performance in December, and our most recent performance was at the end of May.
And is that at Flushing Town Hall, too?
All performances are at Flushing Town Hall, where we are honored to be space grantees.
Space grantees.
Very nice.
A little different than artist in resident is space grantees. They do both. So you don't have to live there like the artist in residence, right?
That is true.
Can maintain a separate residence.
Yes,
Oh, they still have the jails open there, right?
Right. And your productions are professional. Where's your talent come from?
Well, our one of our main focuses is we want to really showcase new and upcoming talent. And we of course, we're in one of the world's most diverse boroughs, both ethnically and artistically. So we really have a lot to pull from. Mainly, it's been using friends and family and contacts, but most recently for this performance we'll talk about momentarily.
Right.
Yeah, we'll be showcasing some students from Hofstra University, and we want to give the opportunity to students who are currently pursuing their degrees
in opera,
in opera performance,
in opera.
And to give them professional opportunities to start building their resumes while they're still in school.
That's really nice.
Wow. Yeah. So why don't we let Ally tell us that now that the cat's out of the bag, they're here to tell us about Queen's Opera, but they also have something coming up on September 11th.
Nice.
That you didn't know about, right?
Nope.
You're surprised.
Surprise.
So other half of the Queen's Opera Theater, what's going on this Saturday?
So we're really excited to be part of what is called Beats in Bliss Plaza. It's actually happening on Tuesday, September 11th.
That's right.
And we'll be there from 5 to 7 in the afternoon, and we're going to be doing a showcase of a couple of selections from various operas. We are going to have two performers. One is Christina Pecci, who she is a graduate of Hofstra. She's not there currently, but she is
a soprano.
And a soprano, and she is doing amazing things in her own right, and we're so excited that she's going to be there to perform for us on the 11th. And then our other performer is Christopher Lau, who is a current student at Hofstra.
And a baritone.
And a baritone.
You got a
Thank you.
soprano and a baritone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have Barbara Podgorski, who's going to be our piano accompanist for the event.
Nice.
And Barbara, we know from her association with Musica Reginae, which you mentioned earlier.
Barbara is a Queens talent. The theater in the Gardens, you know,
Okay,
they have a
yes,
big
yes.
music program, and they do
Sure.
a lot of stuff. And she's a pianist, professional pianist with the Musica Reginae. Reginae, of course, is the plural of queen in Latin, so it is Queens.
Wow.
Musica Reginae means music queen.
You are slaying it this week, buddy.
And she performs all over the borough, but I would say her base is at the church in the gardens at Forest Hills, the ones in Forest Hills Gardens.
Nice.
So Bliss Street Plaza is actually 46th Street and Queens Boulevard.
That's right.
It's actually underneath the 7 train. There's
That's
the
right.
elevated 7 train. There's a space where they put tables and chairs and other kinds of stuff, and they have sound systems. I was actually at an event there 2 weeks ago
That's
where we
right.
talked about the
Yes,
Love
we
Holly
did.
Fest.
Yeah. It's right by the Sunnyside sign, the arch.
Right by the Sunnyside Arch,
Right.
Yep.
46th Street, and it's a great place. If it rains, not a problem.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's a nice covered spot.
And the acoustics are actually really good.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
may not know this, but if you go a little bit further down, you can yell out something and it echoes forever. A little unknown
really?
thing about that elevated platform.
We'll
You
have
can
to
go
try
up there
that
and
while
go,
we're there.
opera! And they'll go,
Exactly.
opera. So, and this is free. What time is it?
This is free, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
So
on
it's
Tuesday
5
the
to
11th.
7, Tuesday the 11th, completely free, 46th Street. It's actually the Bliss Street Plaza, what it's known as.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's sort of the beginning of this year's season.
Mm-hmm.
And what's up next for you guys? What's the next show?
Well, at the
Brian?
moment, we are currently still putting the finishing details on our season, and one of the things we determined, and we're going to try this season, is really grow our exposure by doing more and more community events. We have a number of ideas that we're hoping to come to fruition, including community concerts, as I mentioned before, as well as a possible Monday night event at an Italian restaurant, for example, where we have,
Okay.
you know.
So in other words, coming soon to a
so watch this space.
to a Queens
Space by
corner near you. Okay,
That's right.
that's
we
great.
have a website we can check out your stuff
Yes,
on?
yes. Queens Opera Theater, re.org.
It's
it's
theater
the-
with an R-E.
It's
Yeah.
the RE
The
Theater.
The British
That's
style.
right.
It's Queens Opera
The
Theater.
continental spelling. Yes.
Queens Opera Theatre.org. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just looking here at the listing. It says that on Tuesday, September 11th, obviously, you're going to have selections from La Boheme, La
correct.
Noche de Figaro.
That's
All
Look at you.
Figaro.
There
I
you
was
go.
I was
All
onto
right.
something.
You were.
The Magic Flute. Now that's Mozart's famous one, right?
Yeah, that is correct. hmm
The Baker's Wife. Which one is
So,
that?
so the Baker's Wife is a musical, a piece of musical theater, which in creating our company Opera Theater, we want to not only showcase the standard opera repertoire, but we also want to bring the
Musical
classical
theater, other
musical
kinds of- okay,
musical
yes,
theater. And so this is sort of our way of
Okay.
marrying the two genres.
And the final thing that they'll be singing on Tuesday night is Carmen. That
is correct.
The famous
There you
one.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
That's with Ida. Is that the one, Ida, or is that no?
No, that
Carmen
so
is it's an Italian
yes,
opera.
yes, it's the Toreador song, the bullfighter song
Toreador.
From
Yeah.
the Bad News Bears.
from the Bad News Bears.
Oh,
Yes, from the Bad News Bears. Yes,
Wow.
well
Okay.
played, well
Thank you.
played.
Wow.
It's funny because there's so much opera that is
That-
actually
that-
really
that people
recognizable
don't really
and
know.
familiar.
It's
You
the
don't
same
realize
thing
where
with
it came
Shakespeare.
from.
There are
Yeah,
always quotes
exactly.
that you never knew were in
Yeah.
Shakespeare or the Bible. You know how people always say stuff and you
yeah.
realize that, oh, that's actually in the Bible?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so that's September 11th. And that means that you guys will be busy on that Tuesday, but you won't have anything to do the previous weekend.
That's right.
That's
Yeah,
So
right.
why
so-
don't you guys
Going
stay
on.
with us right here as we go over some of the,
We'd
the
love
fun
to.
things that you can do. Okay. In Queens. Now, we were just talking about Flushing Town Hall. Flushing Town Hall has their, do you know the Queensboro Dance Festival? Have you
Yeah.
heard of Queensboro Dance Festival? Caressia?
We've been talking about it for
We
weeks,
talked
sure.
about it here before. So they're having a big Queens dance night on Friday, on September 7th, at Flushing Town Hall. And there are going to be a bunch of different dance companies. All of them are from Queens, and obviously because it's Queens, it's a little bit of everything. You're going to see dance from Indian dance and African dance and ballet, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's all going to be there. And Caressia told me that this is her big blowout of the year.
Now, will they do the lambada? Because that is the forbidden dance.
Lambada is
I hate to see someone get arrested on the Queensboro Dance Festival.
Well, how about this?
Yeah.
Will you go to this event and promise that if they don't do the lambada, you will do it in the aisles at the end of the show?
I think I would have to. I mean, I owe it to the people.
Okay.
We will be there.
Sold.
So anyway, watch out. There's going to be a whole rush to buy tickets.
That's it. That's like Queen. It's in Queen's Bump.
Yep. Let's move over to Saturday. Saturday's kind of a fun day. It's the day that the Museum of the Moving Image kicks off a brand new movie that no one else. Well, I'm sure some people have seen, but they're starting a brand new movie called En el Séptimo Día.
Of course.
What do you think that means?
Something day. So what's September
On
day?
the seventh day.
On the seventh day.
What
All
did
right.
God do on the seventh day?
I thought he rested.
What do Mexican immigrants in Sunset Park, Brooklyn do on the seventh day?
Play volleyball?
Play soccer. Very
Soccer.
good.
All right.
So it's a movie about a group of Mexican immigrants. They work, all of the jobs, the bike delivery person and all that. And every Sunday they get together and they play together. And so So in this case, the team makes it to the finals, but the head coach he has to get called into work and. So anyway, this is a brand new movie. It's filmed in Sunset Park, and it's going to show 4 times this weekend, kicking off twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday. So it sounds kind of fun. And then keeping on the same day, it is somebody in this borough, or someone with a sort of a borough reputation, is turning 170 on Saturday.
Someone's turning 170.
Well, sort of. Yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah. What?
You got snake eyes over here.
Who do you think is celebrating his 170th anniversary? I'll give you a hint. It's
Is it the DA?
No, the DA. No. One of our historic houses.
Oh, Lewis Latimer.
Okay. The Lewis Latimer House, which is in Flushing. Lewis Latimer was an inventor who actually helped Thomas Edison invent.
Light bulb?
Light bulb, thank you.
All right.
His house where he lived is a historic house, and it's his 170th birthday party.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
What do you get somebody for their 170th?
I don't
Is
know.
it paper?
Does he
Or?
have to get 170 punches or 170 kisses? That's gonna be
That
too
candle
much.
is going to be a fire.
Yeah. What are they doing on that cake? That's a good point.
I think you just go 170.
Right.
3 candles and you call it a day.
Anyway, they're celebrating it with wine and beer tasting, art, poetry, a silent auction, and tours.
Nice.
I might actually go to that because I've never had a tour of the house. Staying on Saturday, we have some funny, a lot of little things. For example, you can take a bird walk in Queens Botanical Garden.
Oh, I thought it was Alley
Where do you
Pond.
find Alley
I was thinking
No,
Alley Pond.
but-
So Queens Botanical Garden has the bird walk.
Yes,
Okay.
but the hook to this is that the people from the Audubon Society will be there.
Nice.
So you will be bird walking with experts,
Professionals.
professional bird
Right.
watchers. So you want to go, you can hang out, and they'll identify and spot and all those other kind of things. You strike me as a huge bird watcher.
Yeah, I mean, you've got me pegged correctly, Rob. Yes. And what time did you say that was on Saturday?
That one is at 9:30.
AM.
It's a recurring event, which is to say it kicks off Saturday, September 8th, and then it'll happen every 2 weeks, once every 2 weeks on that Saturday through October. So there's also a second September date and then
Two
October dates.
Nice.
So if you miss this one, you can
plenty of opportunities to
plenty of
watch birds.
opportunities. Or you can run the table and go to all 4.
Right.
Right.
They'll
have a frequent visitor pass? Or,
I don't know, but the migrating birds will be coming up soon.
Coming up?
Going down.
Going down.
soon.
We're going to lose them.
We're going to lose them. Be interesting to see what birds you see this week as opposed to what you see
right.
in the last one. There's also an urban foraging.
Is this the Wild Man?
It's not Wildman Steve Brill, but Queens Farm. Did you guys know that Queens has a farm?
No.
I'm not
It's
aware.
actually the Farm Museum. Yeah, grew up in San Antonio, But
Yeah, but don't hold that against
No.
me.
don't hold that against them. And
We're happy you brought
Connecticut, but now they're fully entrenched in Queens.
Nice.
Queens County has a farm museum, and it's a restored farmhouse, exactly the way it was back when the Dutch family owned it. But they have not only do they have like a full petting zoo, they also have a maze, and they have a vineyard.
Yep.
They have all kinds of they grow all kinds of vegetables and whatnot. But there's a woman who's going to take people on an urban foraging exploration of the Queens County farm on Saturday. And she is an ethnobotanist. So she will be able to tell you how to identify, harvest, and eat all wild seasonal ingredients. Which ones are poisonous, which ones are healthy, which ones go with soup, which ones go with oatmeal, stuff like that. So that's someday I got to do that.
Nothing like
I've
greens
never
and
done
oatmeal in the morning.
yeah, yeah. And then 2 other events on Saturday. If you want to take another walking tour of Maple Grove Cemetery.
Oh, Maple Grove is...
We love Maple Grove
Yeah.
Cemetery. It's in Kew Gardens. They're doing a walking tour of just the Victorian sections.
Nice.
So if you like Victorian architecture, they have Victorian tombs, I guess.
Yeah.
What do I know? And then at Sunnyside Gardens Park, since they're looking to buy a place in Sunnyside, just to let you know.
Yeah, so if anyone has any thoughts.
Yeah, anyone has any thoughts, we're going to let their whole private life, we're going to put out on this internet, which goes out to the world. Sunnyside Gardens Park, which is a fantastic park. It's a private park. You have to pay money to get into. Great place for kids because it's this big. I think it's 5 acres, and it's all fenced off. We were members when my kids were young. You can just go there and they just play all day. Then they come home and they're like tea bags when you put them in the bathtub.
Yeah.
They're so dirty. But they're opening it up. They're opening up the park to everyone and having an international music festival. And again, because we're in Queens, it's diverse. And it's all local talent. They have one group called the Knot Club of New York.
K-N-O-T? Or
No, N-O-T.
N-O-T, okay.
Playing gypsy violin.
Oh,
Got
all
me on
right.
that one. I don't know what that is. Oh, that might be flamenco-ish. They've got an Ecuadorian African dance ensemble called Chota Madre. They've got drum and dance lessons by a Senegalese
Nice.
dancer. Yeah. And they have the Brown Rice family playing reggae, ska, and Latin music.
Well, that's as diverse as it gets, right?
So it's like I said, it's a great park, and it's free that day.
That's fantastic.
It's worth it to hear all the music. Moving right along, silent disco.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever done
on the
Always a
waterf-
hit. Yeah, always a hit.
Oh, you guys like silent disco?
Well, we've done it.
You've done
I
it?
can't say that we've enjoyed it, but
Yeah. Oh, okay. Where did you do it here in Queens?
no, actually, I did an event back at the Museum of. Sorry.
Interlochen.
Yeah. No.
Brian comes to us from a long experience of working at music events, right?
That is correct.
Yeah,
Yeah. That is correct.
Okay, so what were you boogieing to in silent disco?
Everything from. We
Heavy
got the
metal?
beat, to and everything
So
in between. Yeah.
This one is on the September 9th, and the way it works is that
That's
you get
Sunday, right?
There are 3 discos that will all be live.
Right.
3 DJs.
3 different DJs, right?
Different DJs all live, and you can switch to each DJ.
Each DJ's color coordinated,
Other
right?
coordinate, yes.
Yeah.
How did you know that?
I've seen the photos.
There's green, blue, and red.
All right.
All right, now what's the red? What's the green one gonna play, Mr. Know-It-All?
The green one is going to play forest music.
Top 40 hits.
All right.
What about the red one?
The red one is going to play Satan's music.
Nope, throwbacks.
All right.
All right. And the blue one,
Blues.
hip hop, R&B, funk.
There you go,
maybe
0 for
some
3.
Motown. Okay.
I think my ideas were better, but all right, whatever. I'll coordinate
Why
my
don't-
own
yeah,
silent disco.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah.
Have, if you want to go to Chris's,
Chris's silent disco.
party,
It's happening in my living room.
Yes, all right. Noguchi Museum on Sunday. They have a series called Bang on a Can.
Okay.
If you've ever been to Noguchi, it's a great place for sort of like minimalist music. And they have a series when they bring in, again, it's periodical, but now it's starting up again because the school year is starting up,
sure.
summer's over. And they will have a Japanese woman named Yumi Kurosawa who will play traditional Japanese music on traditional Japanese instruments.
Nice.
That's awfully nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Great place for that kind of music. And then moving right along, on Monday, remember their event is on Tuesday. Monday, the Oratorio Society of Queens, which of course we love.
Yes.
They'll be holding auditions. So if you want to try out for the Oratorio Society of Queens, the name, I told them once, they got to change that name because it's 120 people. It's every single great singers, all kinds of musicians and stuff, and it's a real big thing. Oratorio Society of Queens makes it sound like it's not as professional as it really is, in my mind. But they give great concerts. They have an unbelievable Christmas concert that they do out in Queensboro Performing Arts Center in Bayside,
right? Yep.
where they do they do the Hanukkah songs and they do Christmas songs and they do a bunch of other stuff. It's a fantastic group. If you want to try out, that is on the 10th on the Monday. And something else I want to say, since it's kind of a short week, Queens Council for the Arts. All right, every year they give out a certain amount of money to different local artists so they can do projects, right? And so the 2018, the grantees, the people who have won the grants, are now starting to perform or offer their art, right? And what they've been working on with this grant.
So, yeah, right. Get to see the fruits of their labor.
Right, you get to see the fruits of their labor. And it kicks off this week. It's
Nice.
going to be this week and next week. So if you want to see anything, these are all completely local, completely brand new. And it's Queens Council of the Arts. I'll just read them off, just to let you know. For example, on September 7th, there are short plays and songs by the Senior Theater Acting Repertory, which I guess is a grant award winner. Senior Theater at Queens
Senior
Village
theater
Library.
meaning over 65?
I'm not quite sure.
All
I'm
right.
not quite sure. The next day, September 8th, there is an on-site. There's a site-specific sound project in the Sunnyside Municipal Parking Lot, which is down on it's Queens Boulevard between 40th and 41st Streets.
What is it
So,
called?
site-specific sound project. So there's a sound artist.
Is that where the good echo is?
Yeah.
Oh, there you
So
go.
that's what I'm thinking.
They knew
So
about
there's-
it.
yeah.
They knew your secret.
At the same time, there's an exhibition, a visual art exhibition, which is inspired by the Brides March Against Domestic Violence.
Okay.
By a woman named Diana Bejarano. Do you know about the Brides March Against Domestic Violence?
No.
So a couple of years ago, there was a woman who was getting married, and on her wedding day, she was in her gown, and her ex-boyfriend crashed the wedding and killed her. And
Oh,
shot
my
her.
God.
And ever since then, women who have been victims of violence hold a march through New York City once a year. And so this is a visual art exhibit inspired by the march, by
Nice.
the Brides Against Domestic Violence. And all these women wear
Their wedding gowns.
and they march through the street. So that's
Okay.
kind of interesting. And the other thing is on September 9th, and it is an Indian musical. So
Okay.
it's not just Indian music, it's an Indian musical by another one of the grant winners at PS 69. So
Listen, you got a lot going on.
and we got a lot going on. I mean, we have a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of it is.
We still have the U.S. Open
completely-
going, right?
The U.S. Open is going, but we
Yeah.
have a lot of stuff that is completely indigenous.
That's right.
It's completely from here.
Right.
So anyway, is there anything else we should know about the Queen's Opera Theater before we sign off?
Yeah, how did it start? What made you guys come up
Do
with
you
this
love
idea?
opera, Brian?
I do love opera.
And
so
do you love opera too, Allie, or are you just a
I-
long-suffering
I
wife?
am learning.
You're
I'm
learning to love
to
opera.
love
Oh,
opera,
okay.
yes.
How long have you loved opera?
well, my grandfather actually instilled in me a love of opera at a very early age.
Really?
Yes, and
Did you sing opera in the shower when you were like 10?
I never sang in the shower,
Oh, okay.
but I've always had an appreciation from as I said, from a very early age, and fast forward, that's 20 or so years when I moved to New York, I had the great fortune of being hired on as an usher at the Metropolitan Opera, so I got to hear a lot of wonderful performances and for free. So that was.
But you were working. You were
no,
concentrating on the job.
no,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
I was working the whole time. The whole time, so I had the idea that that we should
Do it here?
do it here in Queens,
do it here.
in the world's most diverse borough.
That's
Uh-huh.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you're starting to like opera.
I am, yes.
What is it that you like about opera?
Well, so what I like about it there are a couple of things. One I mentioned earlier is just kind of how much of it actually is familiar without you even necessarily knowing it.
I know that
and
line.
just-
well, we just know it from the Bugs Bunny stuff.
That's
I mean,
true.
right.
That was
I
our
love
first.
music.
That was my
It's so
introduction.
That was
to
my
opera,
introduction.
Yeah.
And just kind of learning all the places that it shows up has been really interesting now that I'm paying attention. You
Right.
know? And I haven't even been to that many of them, but as the more I go, the more I'm kind of learning. I've been doing sort of the lighter ones.
Are you going to
first,
start singing in the shower?
No, and I don't know if I'll go.
Well,
as far as
I'm
singing in the
fascinated
shower,
with the voice as an instrument, right? I mean,
Yes.
the amount of training that these opera singers go through, and the way they can kind of stretch their vocal cords
Yeah.
like that. It's amazing gymnastics.
Yeah, it's really incredible.
It really
and
is.
There's so much. There's also so much going on. You know, as we've been learning about. You know, we've been learning more and more as we get entrenched in Queens, which has been really fantastic. We're so excited to be in this community, and there's so much going on. And there's also a lot of new opera being written too, which has been interesting
Wow.
for me to learn because you sort of think of it as all the
yeah.
Think of it as.
big,
I didn't
but
think
there are
anything was
some
written past
more
1800s,
yeah.
contemporary, writings and things
Uh-huh.
like that going on. So hopefully we'll start. You know, we'll get to a point. Hopefully, we'll be able to support some new work too.
I also know rock operas like
Well,
Tommy.
German opera, and Italian opera. Did you know that in Brooklyn, I can't remember what year, but a fight broke out in the 1800s between German immigrants and Italian immigrants over who was the best. There was a German opera singer and an Italian opera singer, and some fight broke out during a performance over who was the best one.
Wow.
Huh.
No fights at
Yeah,
Bliss.
No.
No.
Nothing but love.
Yeah.
Nothing but love at the Queen's Opera
Nothing
Theater.
but love at the Queen's Opera. All right, I guess that's about it. Anything else? What am I missing?
No, that's it. You guys are going to be in Flushington Hall again this year for a couple of performances, you think?
Yeah, but we're probably April or May. We're still putting the final touches on that.
All right.
All right, great.
So remember, as I always say, we just sit here and we talk, but everything is correct at itsinqueens.com. Follow us also on social media at #itsinqueens.
Right.
Queens Opera Theatre, TRE on the theater
right.
.org.
Right.
Do you have a hashtag too, or an Instagram?
Yeah, Queens
Queens Opera Theater?
is the hashtag. Yep.
Okay. So look for us. Thank you, my man.
Well, thank you for letting me back. I know we had a touch and go
it
situation.
was touch and go on whether we were going to
Taryn
come
was
back.
looking like a permanent replacement there for a little bit. She did
Yeah.
a great job. Thank you.
You're
by
here
the
though.
way.
You're here though.
Yeah.
Thank you too for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you
And
so
please
much.
remember, I hope to see you in the borough this weekend, if not before.
That's it.
That's all right.